Most Americans today can sense that there is something serious going on in our country. It's a feeling of angst. It's a feeling of genuine, serious concern. It feels like a war is being waged on us, on our society, on our ideals, on our values. Well, that's exactly what is occurring. A war is being waged, but it's not a war in the traditional sense. This type of war uses neither bomb nor bullet, yet it is just as lethal. It's called political warfare. It's an asymmetric, unconventional type of warfare that encompasses various tactical strategies of ideological subversion or active measures to dismantle and deconstruct a nation state, focusing on its socio-political and economic values.
And now EPAC Perspectives with H.G. Goerner. How you doing, Hugo? How are you?
Good to see you. Good to see you. We love you guys. HG and HD today, EPAC Perspective. It's September 17th, Tuesday evening, here in California, about 5 o'clock, or a little bit after. We started a little bit late. But this show, Tim, if you allow me, we're gonna get a little hot and heavy because as of Sunday, we talked briefly about this, but it was kind of interesting because a guy was hanging out for 12 hours in the weeds trying to, well, we really don't know what he was trying to do, but he had a gun with him, and that'll pretty much give you an idea what was on his mind. That is particularly dangerous because in so much as if you have a controlled group of people like Iran, they have actual people here in the United States right now that are, for the most part, here to assassinate Donald Trump. But you got guys that you have no idea. They're kind of, maybe they might be on the radar, but you got a guy like Mr. Crook on July 13th. On July 13th, everything changed. Everything changed. That was the day a war was officially declared on the United States, on you and I, and specifically on Donald Trump. And when we have this repeated, but I'm going to get hot and heavy today, Tim. I'm not going to hold any punches. But before we get started, I want to introduce you to, in fact, it's kind of interesting because I have a better part of my life. She's asleep right now because she works at night. And her name is, my girl and my woman. She's really, the last decade of my life, because of her, is literally, and I mean this, I'm not just blowing smoke to the women. If it were this is the best years of my life, absolutely, without any doubt. She makes my life complete. She loves me and I love her. And the women in our lives are very important. And oftentimes, I don't know, I get frustrated or angry, and I'm finding myself in the last couple of days having to apologize for opening my damn mouth at the wrong time and saying the damn thing. So I just want to make sure to shout out to all our women folk. But there's a specific reason, because I was introduced basically through social media to this woman right here. Can you see if we can see her?
Yeah, I see her. Yep.
You know who that is?
Mm-mm.
That's Mae Musk. She wrote a book called A Woman Makes a Plan. It's had quite a few copies sold, but Mae Musk is a former model, and she raised children basically on her own. One of those children was Elon Musk. And I am basically, at this particular time, and I'm hoping we're recording this because I'm going to send her a copy. Buy her book for your loved one, for your wife, for your girlfriend. This is a must read. It is kind of years of wisdom, because I'm finding out in my life the mistakes that I made. I wish I would have known earlier. I wouldn't make so many mistakes. I'm only human. But buy that book.
What's her first name again?
Her name is Mae Musk. Let's put it up there again.
How do you spell the first name?
There it is, right there. Mae Musk, Maye Musk.
Okay.
She's
Look
the
that
mother
up, May
of
Musk,
Elon Musk.
and post the link. Yeah, post the link.
Yeah. A woman makes a plan.
Yeah, in the chat.
Yeah.
Jennifer will put that up for us.
Very good.
Yep.
Just pushing her, plugging her book because I told her I would.
Yeah, man. We'll do that.
Hopefully, she has given me permission, but she kind of actually, it's a long story. Anyway, having said that, look into it. And having said that, there's a kind of let's get into the meat of this particular thing. Thank God Elon Musk has put up and purchased X. Free speech is vitally important for the progress of mankind. It is the censorship that we see going on right now that is a vital component of I guess what you might call Marxist political warfare. If you can censor information and literally keep this information hidden, okay, from the people, and here's the thing that really just, sticks in my craw. You want to talk about triggers? I literally just want to tear stuff apart. These people will keep this information from you, knowing that if you had this information, your decisions would be entirely different. And that's part of political warfare.
Oh, yeah.
But more importantly, what I want to talk about first is, since we're talking about women, I'm going to show you somebody here, right here. This lady right here, her name is Maya Berry, Maya Berry. She is an Arab and a Muslim. And for the most part, she is the executive director of the Arab American Institute. And today, in a committee with a bunch of senators, specifically Senator Kennedy, Senator Kennedy was asking here, and he actually made this particular statement. And there's a reason why he worded it this particular way. He says, "You support Hamas, do you not?" Now, she would say, she said, "I do not. I do not support Hamas at all." She is an activist for the Palestinian people, getting money, services, everything. Now, here's the thing I want folks to understand. I have studied this along with a friend of mine, okay? The Arab American Institute is a nonprofit, and they want to help the refugees of Palestine. Okay. The Palestinian people have been overloaded and overrun by the Muslim Brotherhood, basically, who put this Hamas together, and Hezbollah. And they have literally taken over that region, the Gaza, okay, this Gaza Strip. But more importantly, I want folks to go and look up this particular documentary. It's called Jihad in America, The Grand Deception. This was made by a very, very good friend of mine named Stephen Emerson. You can go to YouTube and you can watch it for free now. The point is, he talks about the Muslim Brotherhood 15 years ago, 20 years ago, how it started to come in this country, and literally within a few years, the amount of mosques that were built in this country went from a half a dozen to 1,000% increase, 1,000-fold increase. Having said that, this is part of the Muslim Brotherhood's war on the American people. But more importantly, look up what's called the I can't remember the memorandum, the Muslim memorandum, or there's a term that I can't. I've actually lost the actual term, but the Islamic memorandum. It is about the actual goals of the Muslim Brotherhood. So, having said that, part of Hamas, basically, they went into the region of the Gaza and pretty much installed themselves as the government. Now, where does Hamas soldiers or the terrorist organization Hamas get their fighters from? They get them from the Palestinian Arabs,
Yes.
or the Palestinian Muslims.
Right.
Having said that, these poor Palestinians, or if you call them, you want to look up. I want you to look up a guy named Hassan Yusuf. That guy, he used to be Hamas. This guy tells it on my. If you go to my thing and look up here on X, some of my stuff, this guy lays it out perfectly. These guys, Hamas does not want to negotiate with Israel. They do not recognize Israel. And guess what? They are Hamas in any money or any supplies or anything that these advocate groups that is headed by this lady, okay? She's just one of thousands of nonprofit groups that supply these refugees with money or services or whatever. Hamas literally goes in and controls all this once it gets into the region, and the refugees hardly get anything. But more importantly, what I'm getting down to is Senator Kennedy, when he asked her, he says, "You support Hamas, do you not?" And she goes, "I do not." She lied right there in front of everybody. And when he said that, he said this, "Then you need to put a bag over your head."
Wow.
The whole room just went, whoa.
Wow.
Because here's the thing. For thousands of years, the traditions of the people in that region, they cling to those traditions. And that's their thing. But they live in the past. And a large percentage of the people in that region are uneducated Bedouin tribes.
And not only that, not only that, they're inbred. Okay, so they're not educated properly, right? They're just educated in hatred. They're indoctrinated. I mean, when you start doing math problems like, if you start with 6 Jews and you kill 3 Jews, how many Jews do you have left, right? That's kind of you're not really educating them. You're indoctrinating, right? But it's true. That shit happens, dude. That's crazy. I cracked up, Hugo. I think I'm going to make you have milk come out your nose, dude.
That's the thing is, that's the truth. And I don't mean to laugh, but here's the thing that I want to talk about. We need to get serious about this. Bless your heart. I love you.
But it's the truth. I'm not
showing
you. That's the way they educate the kids. They'll even strap a bomb to them, okay? I mean, they don't care. They don't have the same value on human life. Their culture fully different.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And you try to explain that. I try to be explaining that to people on X. They're not culturally the same.
No, they have no Westernization at all. And they cling to this. But having said that, this John Kennedy just literally lit her on fire. You need to put a bag over your head.
Yeah.
So having said that, but you got to see that. Now, actually, this is part of what's called the Muslim Brotherhood, for the most part, Ikhwan. What they want to do is bring forth the 12th Imam. This is about a war being based on this. And a lot of this stuff, especially, you see these college students. The college students have linked up with the Muslim Brotherhood, I guess what you might say, anarchists, to basically bring down this country. But more importantly, I want folks to recognize what happened with John Kennedy. He basically, this guy he looks like an old country boy, but I guarantee you, do not underestimate John Kennedy. This guy is brilliant. He's not going to go in committee and start spouting stuff that he and his team and his staff have not looked into deeply. Mm-hmm. He's an educated, he's basically an attorney, so he knows the stuff. Having said that, you've got to go and watch John Kennedy say basically to this woman, and she flat out lied, we don't support. Yes, they do support Hamas. We support the refugees of Palestine, the are Muslims.
Mhm.
And many of them may not be sympathetic, but guess what? They will be indoctrinated, and guess what? That whole thing is a mess. Now, we move to the most important thing that I want to talk about today, and that's our good buddy Chris Cuomo.
Mm.
Chris Cuomo was on, posted a thing I think it was yesterday or possibly today. He's going, oh my God, they almost killed Donald Trump. Oh, that poor guy. Oh, Donald. You know what? Chris Cuomo can eat no more. Okay, just they don't know. Okay, just lock onto it and just pull the trigger. Good. Okay.
You don't
forgive
him, huh? You don't forgive him for nothing, do you?
You know what? This guy, people try to tell me this guy, oh, he's smart. Well, he's pretty smart, yeah. But guess what? Oh, he's sympathetic. Now he's turned over a new leaf. Bullshit.
Yeah.
This guy knew exactly what he was doing. And guess what? Having said that, oh, poor Donald Trump, his wife and his family, you know what? You can kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. I personally, I think he's a whore. That's all. I just think he's a whore. I mean, I just think that he whored for CNN for whatever, or was it MSNBC? It was CNN, wasn't it? Yeah, it was CNN. Till they let him go, right? And now he's trying to recreate himself, and he'll just do any trick that comes along. The way I figure, that's just the way I see it. So I don't trust him, and I don't find him based on the longer interview with and I watched him on, what else did I see him on with Piers Morgan. And Piers, he does good interviews, right? I just, he's kind of a lefty. He leans a little lefty.
He was on Tucker too, wasn't he?
Yeah, and the Tucker interview was. I found that at first, with the whole COVID thing, I found him to be. He seems to come off as like, okay, he's really trying to think this through and blah 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 blah, and process all what happened. But in the end, I just don't find him to be compelling or particularly bright. I just think he's a shill, and he'll shill for anyone.
You talk about me being unauthentic. Yeah. You want to look up the word unauthentic, and you'll find a picture of Chris Cuomo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and it's like, I think that he's a useful tool. He's just, he's just a tool. I don't see him as ideologically driven enough to keep internally to be like some secret agent kind of guy with an agenda. I just don't see it. I think he's, like I said, he's a hoe. He's a hooah.
You whore.
Yeah, he's a
Get your
hooah.
whore.
Yeah.
He's a whore.
Yeah, so, he'll just, like I said, he'll do anything that, he can make money off of. And I mean, I get it, man. Money's a very powerful motivator. And
big motivator.
And but you know what? At that being said, okay, I'll still listen to what you have to say. I don't trust you as far as I can throw you, but I haven't written him completely off. I don't like to do that with people. I've written certain people completely off, but not him.
And we don't want to write him off because there is a chance that he may come around. But at this particular point, until he repents completely and actually votes for Donald Trump, I voted for Donald Trump, then I might, let me repeat that, I might give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to pay me a shitload of money.
Yeah. Do you know who Leo Terrell is? He's on Fox News. Yeah. Leo Terrell, man, that guy, man, Leo 2.0. Yeah, Leo Terrell is fantastic. I haven't seen him in a while, but yeah, I kind of like that kind of red pill Democrat. I really like that.
Big time.
Like I said, Chris Cuomo demonstrated so much insincerity for so long, and that's why I'm cynical about the guy, right? I didn't trust him at CNN, and therefore you kind of feel a little snaky in the grass to me now. At least I haven't seen. Keep talking. Let's just see. But he's
a walking double standard, is what he is.
Yeah. I mean, I think so. The media. But I mean, look at the place the swamp that this guy came from. I mean, this damned media, like MSNBC, just like moments after Donald Trump was this second assassination attempt, said. I mean, I just sat back in my chair and they said, do you think Donald Trump's going to learn his lesson now and maybe turn down the rhetoric in his campaign, And I'm going, oh, So it's his fault that he
That's
got.
the game.
Oh,
Deflect.
God.
It's stunning. If I may say also is that now that you've mentioned this, I posted. In fact, I sent you a link about what I posted on Rumble the other day. You've got to see that because 4 days ago, in fact, on Saturday, I posted it on Rumble, and I posted it late Saturday night before they caught this second assassin.
Mhm.
Okay. The point is that I in that 10-minute clip on Rumble that I posted, I have people that I know in this that are retired Secret Service. I have a friend of mine that used to be a commander of the Secret Service SWAT. I have a picture. In fact, do I have it with me? Not here with me, not close by, but I have a picture with me and him standing on the grounds of the White House, right in front of the White House, with the White House big, all lit up right behind us at 11 o'clock at night. Having said that, I have people on my team. We reversed January 6, 2021, and that whole debacle. But now we've kind of analyzed what's going on with not so much the second, because I thought this through even before. It was shortly thereafter, after July 13th. And here's the thing: the reason why I kind of took this to this next level. Dan Bongino, this guy, you've got to watch him in a panel. The Heritage Foundation held a 4-man panel with 3 people that were being questioned. Dan Bongino and 2 other guys. I can't remember their name, but the 2 congressmen and stuff.
Yeah.
And Dan, you have to watch Dan Bongino, his body language, how he purses his words, basically, and what he says. This, I don't want to sound like I'm the smartest guy in the room, but this is the post that I made. The title of the post that I made, and I posted it the day before the second assassination attempt. The title of it: If Donald Trump can stay alive and win in November, will Kamala Harris will not certify his victory on January 6th. That's the plan. This is extremely, extremely serious. This is war, and people die in war, and they are working overtime. And here's the thing: they do it cryptically. Having said that, they're counting right now. There are thousands of people out there that are mentally challenged, that get this stuff in their head. They hear, hey, I got to do something. I got to save the democracy or something like this. And they get to that point where they do something, and it just clicks. And the next thing you know, you got a guy that was basically, who knows if halfway decent, but he's in the freaking weeds out by the 6th hole at Mar-a-Lago, standing on the outside of the fence with an AR-15, an automatic AR-15, automatic, for 12 hours. He's sitting, lying in wait for 12 hours. This guy is not a trained CIA assassin. This is a guy that's unbalanced, and that's the most dangerous type of people. There are thousands and thousands of them out there right now wanting to take Trump out.
Right.
If you do not think that's the case, I beg you to reconsider.
Well, I agree with you. There's a lot of nutbags out there, but you're going to have to explain to me how exactly this guy made all his money to travel around the world, recruit for the Azov battalion, own a home in Hawaii.
Who knows?
Oh, okay.
No one.
No, who knows? I want to know because
I'm
unemployed. I have a lot of trouble buying things. I can't own rifles with obliterated serial numbers. I can't afford a plane ticket to go see my parents down in Florida, her parents down in Florida. You understand these things? I can't do these things. Right?
You can fly down from California to Florida right now. I could buy a ticket for $700.
I'm telling you, it's thousands upon thousands of. You can't survive on nothing. He has no sources of income. He has a long criminal record. Okay,
He's a roofer.
I think, nah, man. I'm telling you, man. This guy is lobbying
he's tied to the
he's
CIA?
lobbying in Washington, man. This guy, listen, they scrubbed. I'm telling you now. Just answer me this, okay? I'm telling you what I found. Right? They archived his social media. Right? I saw it. And they went down and looked at the list of his followers, okay? And the very first person he followed was a woman named Kim Sue. Look her up. She's a former CIA operative, okay? The very first follow on X.
Have they been communicating?
Man, you don't know. We don't know that. We don't know. But
that's the point that I'm making.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that I don't think I have any CIA operatives in my follow list, dude. I just don't. I mean,
none that we know of, anyway, right?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, there could be somebody, but they're not my handler, right? I mean, I think this guy. Okay, personally, I think this guy. I think there's a mole inside. Now, I don't know who it is, but I don't think it's accidental. I mean, yes, he lied and waited 12 hours. But I don't think he did that in just hopes that Donald Trump happens to be golfing that particular day because he golfs there so damned often. I'm not buying that. Not for a second, man.
He golfs there every Sunday.
Like clockwork, he golfs there every Sunday.
Damn near like clockwork.
What everybody's telling us about that it's off the record or off the schedule movement. That doesn't make any sense to me then, because those two things can't be true at the same time. Either he does this regularly and we should have a regular detail, or wow, we just kind of put this together and the plan worked. See, because that's kind of information they presented at the press conference. So I don't know. I personally, I think that the guy is, I don't know. I believe in that MK Ultra shit. So I think that they've been grooming this guy, and whether or not they explicitly, popped him off exactly at the time, or they influenced him heavy enough and they knew and they had an eye on him and they nudged him. I don't know, but that'd be my guess.
Let me ask you a question. If you were an intelligence analyst at the CIA, I have a friend of mine that is a former operations manager for the CIA. She's retired. She's a very, very good friend of mine. Okay. Having said that, I've had conversations with her. Let me ask you this question. Do you think the CIA would spend a bunch of money recruiting nutbags?
Yeah. Shit, yes, I do. Absolutely, I do. Because I believe that, I believe that you know some people that have been in these agencies. And so I think to a certain degree, maybe it colors your feeling about the health of the entire agency, perhaps. I'm just kind of...
I'm not talking about the health of the agency. No, I'm talking about why would they waste their time on a nutbag? If they're going to try to kill Donald Trump, they're going to get somebody that can actually shoot.
No, they need culpable deniability, right? Look, you don't need to have somebody to actually shoot from 150 yards when you lay up the shot, okay? I mean, it's like literally saying, all right, you take this pool shot, and we're going to put the ball right here, 2 inches away from the pocket, and then we're going to put the white ball like another 2 inches away and see if you can make the shot in the corner. I mean, that's how easy this damn thing was. So any monkey could have done it almost, right?
All right.
So I personally, I think that's how close it was. I mean, it literally was like a 2-foot putt. And so I don't know, man. It's the reason that I believe that they do this and invest in these kookaburros, okay, and ultimately like cuckoos and things like that.
And tip their hat.
Yeah, because what it is they're an
it points right back to them.
Culpable deniability. There's a layer of deniability.
Plausible deniability.
Oh, he's a lone actor. He's just a nutbag. They're out there. And hell, if we really at it, we can turn it into a case for gun control, right? Which is exactly what they're doing. Oh, God, all those guns out there. That's what we got to do is get them off the street. No, you need to have swept that damn perimeter around that golf course. Well, what the hell was that about? Grandpa Sheriff over there going, oh, God. And the first of that press conference, I don't know if you saw it, the first 5 minutes of it, They're all patting each other on the ass, going, "Oh yeah, that was great." They're spiking the ball, how great it was, how fast they caught him, because some guy took a picture of the license plate and they caught him. Wow. Okay. Jeez, you did that. Wow. Like that's not big detective
how
work.
they caught him, right?
Yeah, they shot at him. He ran out of the bushes. He jumped in a car, and some guy happened to be there.
That was Secret Service agents. There were on the whole.
The protective bubble.
Reconnoitering the hole before.
Are you telling me that jurisdiction doesn't have a K-9 unit, the sheriff? Listen, I've heard all about this. The way they're supposed to do this is it's supposed to be a layered response, okay, or a layered approach. And there's supposed to be a liaison and this, that, and the other thing, but there's supposed to be a perimeter. Now, even Joe Biden is, he's getting full presidential protection. My ass he is, okay? That, especially that one area, that street, is the place where even the photographers go to get a picture of Donald Trump, they know. Okay, why was that left soft? He was there for 12 hours, let alone a drone. But what about if they would have just walked, one canine would have walked that, they would have found him. One canine going around that place.
Let's ask the question. Why didn't they?
Why didn't they? I think that they did.
On purpose?
At minimum, it's because they don't give a shit about making sure that Donald Trump is okay. At minimum. And I would say that my hope is that that's what it is. My suspicion is it's even deeper than that. That there are people that are so damned afraid of going to jail because they know they're going to jail this time. Like Donald Trump's even said it out of his own lips. Then there's nothing wrong with retribution. You broke the law. We're not going to make up any new ones. But, and hey, like they said, like the Libbies say, right? The left says all the time, hey, if you don't have anything to worry about, then, you don't got nothing to worry about. Like, we're going to look into your shit, man, right? But they're afraid. They cannot let him, not to mention the pharmaceutical company, the big ag, and all these other deep state actors that Donald Trump threatens to expose, right? They can't have it. And they're losing their minds right now, and they're 0-2.
So the security apparatus that is the immediate security apparatus around Donald Trump is not trying to protect him. Is that what you're saying?
I am saying that perhaps the ones that are immediately around him, like the guys who actually swept ahead of him, I think that guy was heroic. Just like the cops who pulled him over on the body cam and did their job. They said, hey, go pick up this guy. He's running down or up I-95. They get the hell on. They get a helicopter on, and they pull him over. Beautiful job. Wonderful. No problem with any of that. Those are the guys that are not in the leadership positions. All right? But the FBI, the guy that is running the FBI investigation, in order to become the head of the field office at the FBI field agency in Florida, that particular office, had to scrub all of his anti-Trump crap off of his Facebook page before they promoted him. And this is the guy that's in charge. And that blockhead at the Secret Service, I don't trust that SOB as far as I can throw him. Okay.
So let's do this. Let's get rid of all the Secret Service completely. Let's just wipe it out. Let's send everybody. Hang on. Let's send everybody home. Hang on.
Speaking, we got to figure out.
Hang on. Let's send everybody home and put together a loyal group of people. How about we do that?
That'd be at least. Forget about the Secret Service can go watch Joe Biden and Jill Biden and all those people over there. I think he needs to be watched by a group of patriots, people that have been pre-vetted before, ex-military, Navy SEALs, that kind of shit that you can get on the ground and in 12 hours he could be surrounded by people that he can trust. His life is in danger, dude. He needs a food taster, man. He does. He is the most dangerous man on the planet right now. And the fact that we're talking about that they tried a second time, it's like, holy shit. And then that grandpa gets up there and goes, well, he doesn't get the same protection as a full presidential detail, But, I imagine, here we're imagining again, I imagine next time we'll do that better. I'm like, next time, this is number 2. And if you talk about the plots that never came to fruition, we're on number 4.
Yeah. Did you hear what the acting director said today?
What's that?
Mr. Buster? He admitted that the system needs to be revamped.
Mm-hmm.
He made that on record. If you go and check him out, he basically said the secret U.S. Secret Service needs to be completely revamped, gutted and revamped.
It's become politicized. When a guy is literally giving people shit as to what colored ties they're wearing on the detail because it might give the impression that there's political sway one way or another. Seriously? Okay, I think we hear that from Dan Bongino, I think. That's ridiculous. Okay, that this is, and everybody's failing upwards, right? And these people are all, many of them were DEI hires, right? That then they covered up the whole cocaine thing and they let what's her face Cheadle, just resign. No firing.
Mm-hmm.
This administration fires no one ever.
So let's get rid of everything. Let's just wipe everything out and burn them all and start fresh. Let's get some of our guys in there.
Well, that's a hell of a staffing question, but I think to a certain degree it's not all that crazy. I mean, if you think about it, it takes a lot of look. I don't know when I start getting down into the layers of the FBI, right? I don't know which ones. An analysis has to be done and says which one of these is actually doing work that's important. Things are, we need some sort of policing agency in our country, but it's been hijacked, right? And so you talked about that before. My fear is that, and a number of people's fear, is that the corruption runs deeper than just 73 key people or 200 key people. I mean, I think the rot runs deeper.
It's the entire seventh floor.
Yeah, seventh floor. Hell, I think practically the whole damn building over there. But like I said, I'm no expert, but just wrap yellow tape around the whole damn thing, and all the other field offices just transfer all the cases, to all the other offices, and they have people move. And if you don't want to move to Texas, maybe that says something about you, right?
I have friends of mine right now that just retired from the FBI. I have friends that are older men that are former FBI. The whistleblowers coming forward talk about what you said, political motivation. Have you ever heard of the term called elite capture?
No.
It's a term that the Chinese use. Basically, we'll talk about that later. But many of these people have it's kind of like a cartel. The cartels go over to. In fact, here's the best way I can tell you. I know of a friend of mine who told me about his cousin, who's a young lady in Mexico. I'm using this as an example, and this is a perfect example of what's called elite capture. This young lady was approached by the cartels down in Mexico. She works for her father as basically a staffer. Her father is a big wig within the Mexican government Department of the Interior. She was approached by the cartel and say, hey, we need your help. We're going to do this and do that. You can either take the cash, the silver, or the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Once they approach you, it's over. Once they approach you, you either will work for them or they will kill you.
Yeah.
Now her father is being controlled by the cartels. I could go way down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Now, people within the FBI, the same thing is happening to them, from members of the Chinese Communist Party, the Marxists right here in our country. This is all about basically warfare.
Yeah.
This is called covert
and
Marxist political warfare.
Mayo Monkey said in the chat, he said the FBI has nothing to do with the Secret Service. And I agree it's not supposed to officially on paper have anything to do with the Secret Service. Of course, it's a different agency. But I would also put forth to all y'all, as they say down south, is that they're covering up, right? They're covering up for what the hell happened on J13, right?
Who's covering up?
Huh? The FBI.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So
they
do have something to do with the Secret Service from the standpoint of they know each other. They're covering.
Remember what I told you? They're holding information back, knowing that if you had this information, your decisions would be completely different.
Yeah.
That's called political warfare.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that at this point, here's my opinion on it. Okay, as far as trying to figure out how to unmess all this mess that we're in, right? Because it's seriously screwed up. We are with the first assassination attempt, we were past the Rubicon, right? Or past normal, not normal
If Trump
anymore.
can stay alive, it'll be a miracle.
Yeah, right. And so now with this second one, we're at not normal squared, dude. Okay, this is like wake the hell up and go, well, which dystopian reality do we live in today? We live in 1984, or do we live in pick any of them, right? Hunger Games, which one is it?
Dystopian.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is
Yep.
because it is like because nobody's doing anything. It's like literally you go over to CNN, right? And they're like the headline is about Springfield, Ohio, and the whole thing is down there hidden on the, third or fourth line, and they just bury this shit, and it's like literally I'm watching them do this. They're gaslighting. I've never seen gaslighting on a level like this in my entire life because it's all about what people, I can't remember who it was, but it was somebody that was in Congress that was talking about transparency. And they actually said the quiet part out loud, that they can't be transparent about all this shit. This is why they write 1,700-page bills. This is why they title them in a because the actual transparency, if people were actually know what was being passed, okay, there's no way that they'd be down with any of the shit that gets through
I put that in my documentary that we just premiered 2 weeks ago, called Legacy of a Nation.
That's
it's
what
called lack of transparency is a huge political advantage.
Yes.
When you don't tell the people, here's the best way I can tell you. One day you'll go to bed and everything will be fine. The next day, policy will be introduced and you have no idea that it's been introduced. When you wake up the next day, you got the people knock on your door to arrest you because you're in violation of a regulation.
Oh man, dude, we just saw it on YouTube, I think, or on X, and this guy handled the FBI. These people showed up at his house, and they want in this country, they want to talk to him about his Facebook post, and they won't flash their ID. And so he just kept, saying, no, like, I need to see. Well, would you please turn off the recording device? Like, no, I'm not turning this record.
That's what Trump wants to do, is basically clear out a lot of these regulations.
Yeah.
I just went through about 80 hours of training with the Heritage Foundation on Project 2025. And I'm going to leave you with this. Even though Donald Trump has not, he said, well, Heritage Foundation, that when you can deflect away from them, Donald Trump chose another transition team, okay, headed up by the lady, Mrs. McMahon. That group, you cannot find out where they're at, with their database or anything. But the database that Heritage Foundation has is unbelievable. They have a great bunch of people that are loyal to the conservative movement in this country, and they are loyal to Donald Trump. That is why Donald Trump has said, hey, I'm not going to use that Project 2025, that's junk.
Well, yeah.
When you do that, what happens? The media dogs go in the other direction. If Donald Trump's not going to use them, well, then we'll go after somebody else.
Well,
having said that, that is part of the game.
That's at least the hope, right? It's just this go, nothing to do with that, right? Just look at the monkey over here.
What I'm trying to say is that there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to be retired, career staffers that have been there for 20 years that are going to be sent home. Thank you very much for your service. We're gearing down now. We're trying to trim down, and here's a little incentive. Here's two months severance pay. Thank you. Pack your shit, and I hope you find another job some other place. Then, having said that, what's going to be installed is guys like me. I'm already pretty much on the board. I got my name tacked up on the board because I may be an election a political appointee looking into certain things about elections, various other stuff. But that's the game. Donald Trump will clean house. And you made a great point of this. Hang on. You made a great point of this. Donald Trump is going to clean house so dramatically. These people, these Marxists, are terrified of losing their job.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and he needs to go in, and the other side is freaking out because, I've heard the left-wing media, He says he's going to go in and install loyalists. It's like, well, yeah.
Okay.
You dumb
Yeah.
shit. What? No, we should
That's
install.
what you want.
If you
want
want
people that are loyal to you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
No, we should have Jen Psaki be the press secretary. What are you, out of your mind? These stupid people. Yeah, of course he's going to pick loyalists. I mean, that's like super duh. It's like,
super duh. One of the training things I took was one of the Donald Trump in his first term had a lot of difficulty overcoming the hurdles because every move he tried to make, the bureaucracy within the federal government keeps him from achieving his goals.
yeah.
One of the greatest things you can do, and I learned this through the training, if he can get rid of a lot of these bureaucrats, this one guy, his name is Dan Huff. He's with the Heritage Foundation. I listened to this guy and I was locked into this guy. He's brilliant, little small guy, not very big, but he's got a brain the size of a building. And the guy just laid it out. He says, I'm going to show you how Donald Trump is going to have his loyalists, okay? And he can circumvent, because every move Donald Trump made back then, they would basically put up roadblocks.
Right.
We're going to remove the roadblocks and basically get these, like his agenda 47, his 47 items. He wants those. That's his agenda, to get these items, and they will get the country pointed back in the right direction.
Yeah. They need to. Go ahead.
What I was going to say is that Project 2025 is going to clear the path for Donald Trump.
Yeah. I think they need to get rid of every single person that can afford to lose their job, meaning that that they have enough money in the damn bank, and it's like, well, why do you have all that much money in the bank? They need to get down to the layer where people are like, man, shit, I can't lose my job. I can't.
They're going to give them a little incentive, and it's about being laid off.
Yeah,
we love that. We're gearing down. You're going to get a little severance pay for a couple of months.
Yep.
Here's a couple grand. Okay, thank you so much. We love you. Bye bye. And it's just going to be bye bye. No hard feelings, but we got a job to do. And that's the way it's going to happen. But you know what, Tim? I'm not going to take up too much of your time. Let's do this next Thursday. Dig a little bit more into, because I want to hear what Mayo Monkey. I want that Mayo Monkey. This guy, he's been posting some stuff. I like what this guy has to say. This guy's smart.
Yep.
As far as we can dig into some other things, because if we can clear out a lot of this bureaucracy, and as in the FBI and all these regulatory agencies, the FBI, the DOJ, and here's the thing I want to say, and I'm going to leave you with this: Merrick Garland is crapping his pants. Merrick Garland is crapping his pants right now. Yep. This guy is going to be the first guy on the chopping block. And having said that, we're going to sign out, everybody. Tim, Jen, I love you guys. We're going to get some dinner. We're going to be talking on Thursday night. Mayo Monkey, we love you. Oh yeah, Mayo Monkey. Let's get down and dirty. Let's get Mayo Monkey on the EPAC Perspective show next Thursday at 5 p.m.
Oh, that'd be fun, man. That'd be out. All right, man. Get a hold of us, dude. DM me. You can also email me. I can put that in there too. Real Truth Slinger.
And let's do this. If you go to preservingamericaepac.com.
Yep, I put that at the top of the chat. The first link I posted tonight.
Watch our documentary called Legacy of a Nation. It's less than a cup of coffee. I talk about political warfare and what we're facing. And I swear to God, you've got to see the post that I put on Rumble on our channel. If you put that link up there, if Donald Trump can stay alive and win in November, Kamala Harris more than likely will not certify his victory. That's the game.
Yeah, well,
God love you, buddy. I'm out of here.
Yeah, we need to talk about that next time. But man, it's going to be a shit show when that happens. Yeah, man.
Pay attention to January 6th of next year. It's going to be hot and heavy. It's going to be you ain't going to believe the shit you're going to see.
Yeah, man.
I love you, buddy. God bless.
Yeah, man. Thanks for everybody for being here tonight. We'll talk to y'all later. We out of here. Bye-bye.
We out. Bye-bye.